Hello guys, so time for another video from the Intermezzo. Yeah, this one also includes pajada and also Oprah, but that it's not very surprising that that this game is finished. Pajada is a very fast player, Oprah also, and me too. You would expect the games to go quick. So I'm on the third seat, and let's look at the cards. There's Hammurabi, Mage A, some nice wonders, but at least no pyramids. There's Siska, Columbus, Suez, but no Cook. There's Maria with the liner, Bach, maybe for culture, James Watt with the railroad. And then at H3 there's at least no Hollywood, but some nice Red Cross action or maybe fast food with the liner or some science energy as well, but no space flight. So Oprah has a pick of a leader or a wonder, and I suppose Anna, yeah, just taking a wonder is fine since it's the only wonder showing and it's a nice wonder, and he's guaranteed a nice leader, so nothing there. Payada takes rich land, and you're never gonna guess which leader he lands on, and he takes Caesar. I mean, with colonist energy, Caesar is nice. And with rich land, just very strong. So for me, that's EGA I probably want to take, and then a leader with that. There's no wonder showing, but it's quite likely that some wonders come out. So just that. And then Oprah goes for Boudica, which is maybe a bit surprising. With Caesar being already taken, it might be weird to set up the Boudica non-military bonus resources. But could work out just fine. Aristotle could be a bit tricky since the Roman roads takes a lot of resources anyway, or civil actions anyway to finish. Maybe Homer also, it's not the easiest way to attach him to Roman roads. So maybe Boudica just fine, take the warrior one time and maybe then get the economy bonus. So just Boudica and normal stuff. But place rich land to build the mine, pop, elect and urban growth. So nothing there. So for me, there's no wonders available for one. I just pick Clio, and I also start with the wonder already. So yeah, let's see. This Payada, he doesn't have a wonder yet, so I'm probably favoring the library here. I can just Clio, take the library and start building the library. I mean, obviously you could also go for the first lab, but that would not leave me with a free population with Caesar being in front of me. I think I like the free population more than the one more production of science now. Trade routes offered but not taken. Has to build a warrior. Starts with the roads and pops and takes frugality. So not the ideal. Not the ideal turn, but there's really nothing else either. But at least he gets the Roman roads up to halfway done, and well, maybe the frugality A is not the greatest, but but maybe rich land after having built the mine already is not that great either. And pajada doesn't have a wonder, so maybe it's just keeping Great Wall on 2 might be nice, even though Great Wall as a first wonder is maybe not ideal either. So let's start seeding. Seeds again, even some more stuff to use. Goes for the lab and takes Colosseum and starts building it. So maybe could have also taken Great Wall, but maybe, as said, Colosseum might be a bit more flexible as a first wonder. So for me, I don't seed. I already have barbarians. I will be going into some culture production already, so not the greatest one to seed. I just want to build the library, pop, and actually pop again. Let's see. So it could have put that worker into the rich land, into the mine, but chose not to. Yeah, that would leave me without the free population. If there's development of warfare, I would miss out on the warrior, which could be a bit tricky behind Caesar. But I can at the next turn build both my mine and a first lab with the Clio resource, so I was just setting up for that and having a free population. But I suppose you could have also built the risk building the mine already. I get open borders from Oprah. Nice protection versus pajada as Caesar. Just finishes the roads, and also, yeah, he was maybe thinking about Great Wall last turn. It was not for sure it was available, but he built the stages to set up for taking Great Wall. And that's quite a nice one here, so already two warriors. Better seeds again, civil life, and again, so I have no idea what kinds of events are there. Probably some strength ones, but maybe would be a bit lucky to draw 4 strength ones. Goes for swords before finishing the Colosseum. Just goes for swords. At least that's some pressure. And then take some nice cards. For me, I then decide to seed the barbarians. I mean, pajada has been seeding a lot, and I'm not in range yet of that. Let's see what I come up with. I see a nice alchemy to continue using Clio's resources, and actually end up just upgrading one. And the reason being that I can also build a warrior. So I'm a bit of in danger of getting double aggressed still. So having just a bit more strength. And also, yeah, with corruption also, I need to do something. I will probably popping on the last civil action, but still, it's a bit more safe, even though I have three military actions, but maybe the off chance that maybe Oprah could also try something with the pact, and then yeah, it just felt a bit safer to build the warrior. And also like this I will have the population to put into knights and also the science to go for knights next turn. So I just didn't feel like I just didn't want to commit the other population to lab yet. So upgrading was just fine. Oprah placed frugality, builds the lab, starts building on Grateful, being very efficient with his civil actions. There's a code of laws coming down, but he will be leaving the first one on 2. So let's see if pajada takes it. At least the seeds. There's some more rocks for pajada, science for me, and rocks and science for Oprah. Colosseum gets finished. Another warrior upgraded. Some food. Just goes for the food solution and starts upgrading probably next turn. But yeah, doesn't take the code. Didn't have the most science and maybe a bit tight on what he can do, so probably those codes are available for me and Oprah. So I still have nice science income, so I still feel code helps me in this game. Just go for that. And there's Siska for defense. I can actually go for Siska. Use the Clio resource still. So like this I can for now defend without the cavalry technology. So I just I want to draw still. There was, I think, no, the swords or the fighting band tactic was just revealed, so not able to be copied yet. But like this, I'll have the added hand space from library and some nice amount of military actions, so I can for now defend. And I could, like this, risk the other lab building. Oprah then pops, goes for another warrior. He was one of the 2 weakest, so free warrior. Also code as expected, but should just finish the wonder, putting a lot of pressure and not taking iron, but leaving it on 2. Pajada pops, he builds another unit on the rich land. He chooses to go for the iron and go for a lot of upgrades next turn. Just leaves it at that. I see it actually, which is a bit of a very risky play. I see it. Reign of Terror. It was, I knew about the barbarians, I see it. So at this moment, pajada will have more culture than me, but after I copy into fighting band, I will have more culture than him. So this was probably the last possible time for the barbarians to hit pajada other than me. So it was a very risky seed, and 25% chance got realized, and pajada got hit by this barbarian, which was quite the unlikely one, but a nice one at that. And by the time rain comes out, I might have some more strength, but it was mainly to just push the deck and possibly get the barbarians out. And like this, I'm probably not getting out of being the weakest. I probably have to reload. So yeah, that's the seed, and going for barbarian. Yeah, I'm not producing a lot of rocks. There's the iron for 3, but I'm not willing to take that. And the situation is quite threatening one, even with all my military actions and all that. So I feel like I have to go for Himeji here. I go for masonry still. Like this, I can save 1 rock, upgrading the last lab. And in 2 turns, I will have enough rocks to finish the Himeji. So just taking that, and just out of corruption. Probably I can't use the masonry for Himeji, but there's EG1 coming down, so maybe it could be a way of finishing the Himeji a bit more, yeah, a bit easier. I copy the tactic. And yeah, to be sure, I'm a bit vulnerable now to an aggression. Oprah has +8 versus me. Then again, if he did have an aggression, that might leave me open to pajada aggression. And yeah, while he went for finishing Great Wall instead of maybe taking iron, it would seem that he at least is bluffing to have an aggression. I've drawn some, but not enough to really know too much about the deck. But he's still strongest, so seeding is also fine, and he chooses to not commit to the aggression. There's some food, and now takes the iron, starts going for it, and even takes some signs from draw. But I can at least defend pajada for sure, so probably it doesn't do anything too aggressive here. Just goes for the cardo, leaves himself enough signs to go for iron next. Probably has some colonies seeded. Increased population, even that's another swordsman. So up to 12 strength, but it's quite likely that Caesar will be lost by the next turn. And upgrades one farm. So this turn was maybe the trickiest one. Yeah, I'm quite vulnerable to aggression. I don't have the signs to go for monarchy, but I do have signs to go for theocracy. So I wanted to get that going, but I still have to get out of corruption in order to finish the Himeji next turn. And I would also like to take the EG1, but as we can see, when I go for that, increase population, then I can't even, if I build a warrior, I'm not out of corruption. And then I will be spending stuff elsewhere. So if I build a warrior, I will have with corruption just 4 plus technically 1, so I will have 5 resources next turn if I go for the warrior, and even with taking EG I can't finish the Himeji next turn. So the only way I was able to do it was just by building 1 step and just letting EG go, which is very not that great. So without the good harvest, I could have maybe done a bit of a better turn. But like this, I can at least finish the one the next turn. And then it was about being able to defend. So at least I can make it so by taking this 1 card that the age will end for sure. So pajada will lose 1 strength by next turn, but Oprah still has with the pact 7 strength difference. I will be drawing. I have to discard one card, and then I draw 3. And if I have 3 defense cards, that means I have total 9 cards in hand. So 3 cards with the bonus, and then 6 cards, just regular defense. So 12 worth of defense power. And Oprah takes 7 of it, and then pajada would have 6. So I'm just one card shy of defending both aggressions, should there be those. But it was still, yeah, I could maybe draw another defense card, so that was my best defense for now. So Oprah doesn't go for aggression, so I'm safe. There's a colony won by pajada for 2 units, so not the cheapest one at least. And Oprah can just, in the nick of time, just switch leader peacefully, or not losing Boudica. Upgrades mine, upgrades another mine, so he's quite well set up for H2. Placed culture heritage already, so maybe with some developments could even get the government form next turn, should there be one. So better than Seeds is not the weakest, and I got hit by border conflict, which is not too great. It's quite bad actually with my very sorry rock production. Pajada seems to have a nice colony since he chose to go for Columbus over Isabella. And rebuilds. Swordsman just be a bit stronger, take some knights. So for me, here I chose to seed Pestilence. Yeah, it was mainly just to put some brakes on the other guys, even though it will probably hurt me too. But as it happens, I'm on 3 food right now. I can't pop. Well, it's going to take some time. Going to take some time before the pestilence comes out, but yeah, maybe I could just prepare for it. And it obviously hurts me too, but could put some brakes on the other guys. And I have a so I was still having to evaluate the water conflict. And yeah, what can you really wreck here? I don't want to wreck any of those farms or mines, would be too bad. I may not want to wreck the warrior, since I can't rebuild now the warrior, losing me some strength and culture too. So I still have to use all my rocks to finish the Eepogi. And so I seeded and got the best card possible. The rebellion was revealed, and then I could just destroy the religion. Well, probably would have had to destroy the religion anyway, but still, like this, I get no penalty for doing that. And then I was looking at the row. I mean, swordsmen and knights could help me. Then there's further up the road, there's riflemen and wave that would help me. But I still wanted to have a. I looked at pajada taking Columbus for 2 civil actions, so I'm expecting a yellow cube colony, probably waste 1. So with that, having a very quick Maria replacement would seem very strong, and Maria could really help me with the rocks. So I just realized I want to get Maria here, and I also want to elect. That's the only way to get the rocks, and also taking knights. Yeah, so probably could be needed for some tactics. For now, I could fill up phalanx to be a bit more safe and maybe even escape the reign of terror. So rifles could be considered, but I just think Maria here is quite the strong one, even especially for pajada and for me too with the rocks. Keep the defense cards and crusades. There's the early liner coming, so that's the whole turn for Oprah. At least that keeps rifles for 2, and with pajada having gone for the swordsman already, so I'm expecting to get the rifleman copy here, which is nice since I was really in some scenarios thinking about taking rifles for 3 last turn, so now it's probably going to be available for 1. There's nice conman. But I could maybe set up a Robespierre revolution next turn. I have the conman already since Oprah is ready for conman. So it's a bit costly, but yeah, it's guaranteed. Well, not guaranteed if Robespierre is somehow taken, but maybe not that likely. So for me, I make the decision to cede. So yeah, there is obviously Reign of Terror in there. But for me, it was not the worst case if it hit. I mean, I would lose a population, but that would mean that I can actually use my food and would help me with corruption later. So if I got hit by the rain, it would suck a bit, but I could use my food. So I was quite unhappy to see foray, since I will get a lot stronger this turn. But that's just how it goes. I want to see the Crusades, because I'm, might be stronger by the time, and just see it. But yeah, there's also the argument for, obviously, for not seeding, and I'm not quite sure if that's correct, since I will be getting a lot stronger this turn. So I'm not sure about that. I build knights for free, show the tactic, take rifles, take wave, so both those cards that were for 3 were for 1 this turn, so very strong. Enrich land for those possible coal upgrades or food upgrades. And then on the last turn I was still in corruption actually, so just getting the rifles out and using military actions to get out corruption. So yeah, now I'm even strongest. So it could be a nice thing to have, maybe not seeded, and Oprah would have seen the foray and would have probably seeded, so yeah. Not the greatest sequence of events there. But at least, like this terrain, the deck was switched so that Pyra gets hit by rain too, so kind of yeah, you get something, you lose something, but yeah, Pyra has now some nice food production, but it's never great to get the rain, even though for me it would have made my turn maybe a bit different. I could have popped and get out of corruption like that. Oprah just finishes the liner, can't escape corruption. Takes Oprah too. But Pops builds another farm. Goes for the Robespierre Revolution, which is obviously strong. Increase population a couple of times to get out of corruption. So clean turn. I can finally next turn go for the iron. So for now I'm strongest for a change. I decide to see it strategic too. I have a lot of colonization power and a lot of science production, so I might even pick up navigation at some point. I reveal another strategic strategic territory. I'm willing to bid at least something for this. I end up just spending the whole rifle and those small cards just to keep the big ones. And yeah, that was maybe yeah. If I just sent a small unit, I would be at 10 strength. So there was no sort of. I still get the Maria full Maria rocks, even though I would send a warrior too, but that would cost me one more card. So just wanted to get rid of those small cards and one big unit. But the other rebuild is quite cheap. Takes electric, obviously. I'm gonna go for one, so just enough resources to go for one upgrade, which is huge at this point with Maria. Increase population and take reserves as for having the rocks is quite nice. I mean, I'm not taking cannon like this. And Oprah, obviously, with the Great Wall, really likes the cannon, but I still have no cannon tactic, and probably the reserves or resources that I take are more valuable at this point. So now I draw more truly, so maybe cannon in hindsight would have been nice, but there's still the other copy. Goes for Oprah. Oprah goes for Oprah. Yeah, that one was coming. Builds one. Pops. Takes cannon. So yeah, there's Republics coming down, but maybe could find one next turn. Or the con one is also coming, so probably just is fine with either one. There is some cards taken. Scientific method also. So yeah, just take some cards. Maybe it just wants to go for science first and then iron, like this is letting the coal go. I see it, arms industry. That's a huge card for me. I have nice science and thus have a nice war technologies, and the rocks that I get will be huge. The efficient upgrade is very good for me. Also would like that breakthrough. Like this, I can afford both coal and navigation next turn. That was the main reason. There's a nice colony coming down or coming out. And at this turn, I maybe could have, yeah, didn't have the civil action maybe to play the reserves, pop, go for coal. Develop it and upgrade, yeah. I didn't have the CI to go for coal upgrade this turn, but at least I can go for those next turn. Draw some more events. Now the rats came out, which is not ideal, but at least I still have only one food upgraded, so basically one population gone. It's fine for Oprah though. There's a nice Bach, so it seems that there's some heavy culture production coming, so that will be a bit tough to handle maybe, with him having canon, Great Wall, Liner, and Bach and Opera. So yeah, he has big potential. His science is lagging a bit, but maybe it takes journalism for that. Yeah, at least he doesn't have a architecture or anything. Still, the strength potential without him getting rifles maybe could be a bit difficult. But let's see, it's Test Crusades. I even win it, and it's nothing event against Bach, so it's nice boost. Upgrades, labs, take some cards and more cards. So maybe it just sees that I could use those cards, at least the reserves. So decides to take a card in lieu of upgrading the last mine. For me, strongest I want to see it. Immigration might be a bit tricky. Freedom maybe could be played at some point, but just popularization of science is the most neutral one. I get hit by pestilence. I have a free population. Go for coal, upgrade, go for navigation, and take cannon. So this is a very strong turn. Got the coal going, got the navigation for the colony, and even cannon with maybe transitioning into mobile artillery at some point. Draw autonomous, maybe could be played depending on if I get the strategic and if I draw some more defense cards from that. So that could open up the autonomous play also. Yeah, protects science from the row, probably is the most important card for him from the row. Upgrades a temple into theater, and even builds another one, so going heavily into culture. So he is a bit neglecting his defense like this. I mean, he has 5 civil actions, and pact, open borders pact will be expired next. The seeds, there's the arms industry. That's pretty great for me for my upgrades. Just elects to go for Suez 2, and yeah, actually, yeah, the not building the or upgrading the last mine was so that he has the rocks to just finish Suez. They can finish. Yeah, sadly for him, can't go for architecture with that, but maybe he's a bit low on science also. And he did get historic too, so not the greatest one, but still helpful in this culture sort of game, and also with the just happy faces and for the wars probably. So after Oprah left himself a bit open, yeah, I looked at his hand. I mean, if I'm, yeah, without any sacrifice, I would have 8 difference. So that would mean he could, well, he'd need 2 cards to defend. But if I sacrifice, it will be 11 difference, and then for that he would need 3 cards to defend. So that made all the difference. I was willing to sacrifice a rifle since I will be switching into the tactic I have. So I was willing to sacrifice a rifle, even though like this I won't I won't be one of the two weakest, so the rebuild is a bit trickier. I can't even enable or activate the wave, but it was just the sacrifice made so that he needs even one more card to defend, and he couldn't defend, and I was able to destroy one Oprah and one lab, which puts some brakes on him. And after that, yeah, I got the arms industry and I got the aggression, so now I have 16 rocks all of a sudden and some nice stuff to do. Upgrade both my mines and also the farm. And I play reserves of food. I still have to deal with the happy face issue, but like this I can just try to reserve some pop. So this was a huge turn for me. Yeah, what else? There's Air Forces on the row, but it's for 3. It's probably just too costly to take. And just those upgrades now, it's just way stronger. I decided to discard all those events that I have. There's still the colony coming. I want to have the most all the defense cards and also the tactics. So there was not much choice. Oprah takes the Air Force at least. Plays the Rav takes rifles. Pops. Fixes his famine. Goes for rifles. Upgrades once and builds a lab. So rebuilds the lab but doesn't rebuild the Opera because that might be too greedy. And it's not the weakest. So better than Seeds as the weakest, that's the colony. And I was all in on this, I suppose. But for 11, just 1 unit and the cards, well, that's still a pretty cheap price to pay for that. It's H3, so a huge colony. But it goes for the early communism revolution. Hurts his draws, but still probably what you want to do with Robespierre. And there's always Steve Jobs on the row as a replacement leader. Probably Robespierre has done his job now. But at least can go for the science production now. And popping to get out of corruption. So, a nice turn. Just missing the draws, but still could be nice. And the endowment also. So I'm strongest. I drew impact of architecture, but of happiness and 3 aggressions with the strategic draw, not the maybe the all-time best draw, but still okay. I decided to see it architecture. Yeah, we'll be going for jobs this turn, but seeing happiness, even though Oprah has some happy face issues. There's no Marlene, but at least Chaplin. So it could be an idea to seed happiness, but I also didn't want to commit to happiness just yet. If I can't find the time to really fix my happiness, it could be a bit bad. Best decoration and hits pajada. So after going for the revolution, he couldn't do anything in his military, so has to lose 1 colony, and it's actually not. It sucks losing any of those. So quite a bad event. I pop with Maria 1 time and decide to go for jobs. It fixes my happiness for now. I can actually, like this, just be a bit better prepared for stuff. Even though I know about the immigration, I discarded it and show the tactic, just be a bit stronger. And also engineering, I want to have that for future reference. Maybe Oprah probably can't afford it, but it was just Just a nice card to have. Maybe if there's nothing else, I could just play it next turn. And it was just the best card from the row. I mean, the Ichi is there, but there's a lot of wonders already on the row. United Nations will be gone. Internet not too crazy for me. Fast food chains coming down, so probably taken by Oprah. Doesn't work for Red Cross and Manhattan Project. That's maybe the one that I could use it for, but it's just uncertain even if I get a wonder, so I wouldn't want to commit to EG3 there. I draw Impact of Science, could be nice. Oprah then reveals progress. I didn't know about this, but after getting all those upgrades done, this is just a nice boost. Goes for popping, takes fast food as expected, and builds another theater. So like this, it can take military build up as well. Can't take patriotism like this, but maybe has enough rocks for now just to commit to another Oprah. Upgrades a warrior with his free resurrection. Better than seeds, and there's some more culture for everyone. And like this, there's spear and there's pro sports, and Biotis needs a replacement. Pro spear not doing pretty much anything now, so it just goes for the pro sports. Switches and even, well, goes for more science rather than another of those pro sports. Like this, he's not the weakest, and probably the science will help him. That's the corruption though. I then see the impact of science and reveal civil unrest, which is nice timing since I will be having some unhappy people after my turn. But where I see it as computers, and I won't expect Oprah to take any of those, and pajada has scientific methods, so probably not. And it will be in the deck that will be flipped soon, but maybe I have time to be stronger in science by that time. And taking the rep last turn, I knew about the possibility of maybe getting demo. And there's demo indeed. Gonna go for it. Increase population. Another time even. And building another lab. So like this, I built another lab, so I have 8 science, just enough for computer. And I chose to take the reserves. I could have maybe escaped corruption somehow, but just taking reserves here is probably fine too. Didn't really want to commit to a region or anything. Draw some more stuff to seed. Terrorism won by pajada. And that will be a bit bad for Oprah. He will lose another Oprah. At least it will be by the next turn only. So can go for the military build-up. And builds a temple. And I suppose he also built. No, he will just lose the Oprah asset next turn. But at least he has to respect a bit that I have the mobile. Truly, I could have some nice military potential. So just build some units. Has to commit to Harriman also. just with his science production, it's just very costly. As a tactical, at least, so he's probably safe even with that. But it costs him a lot to set up the classic army. He's even taking one famine, so not ideal. But then puts the Olympics on, and yeah, there's both computers on the row, so I'm guaranteed to get one. But science is revealed before that, so that one didn't work out as well as I would have liked. But it was also not too bad. Pajada's a bit behind in culture, and it still helps me versus the Oprah. Takes tanks, takes MT for 3. So it just denies the military theory, which could be nice to do. I see the impact of wonders. It's relatively neutral. Government, it wouldn't have gotten any better for me anyway, so that was okay to reveal. Go for computers, obviously. Even build one straight up and build a cannon to cut off corruption. I wanted to have the efficient upgrade and also Manhattan Project. So Manhattan Project just for the sheer culture value as well. And also having drawn the impact of strength, I just wanted to have that. And the efficient upgrade, I was maybe a bit contemplating between upgrading my lab instead of taking efficient upgrade, but it should be quite nice just to have the most value out of the Manhattan Project, and like this I can still go for the engineering next time. Oprah offers peace treaty. I mean, could be taken, but I just wanted to leave Oprah guessing, and don't want to take the pressure off like that. Builds lab, pops, builds another lab even, fixes his famine by playing to reserves, taking Rab, which is very strong for him, then go for the Air Force next turn, so he built those labs to be able to go for Air Forces. Culture played by Oprah, and at least I'm second in that. But there was tanks, can get the culture and the discount. Builds one to be not weakest. Open growth for some more of those pro sports. So I'm not really sure if he's expecting the age to end like this. I mean, there will be. First of all, I see the impact of strength. I have nothing else to see it, so I just want to see that and maybe draw another one on the last turn. I play the engineering, upgrade, build one lab straight, go for another efficient upgrade. So yeah, I went for the play where I just end the age. So I could still get the engineering going and build one computer straight up, and then I had to use 6 civil actions to end the age. Since I felt it was I had some nice impacts in, I didn't want to risk prolonging the game. I mean, like this, Oprah will have some issue at least with his happies and finishing the wonder. So I felt ending here is just probably better. So Oprah gets tourism accepted by Pajada. And now he does a bit of a tricky play here. He goes for all those couple of units and one farm, then finishes the wonder, and then just disbands a lot of stuff. So just gets more points for the fast food, and then just has to disband. So looking at this, the impact of happiness would have been real nice to have, but also I will be having some happy issues at the end, so maybe it was just fine to just discard that and not have to worry about the happy faces. Architecture, which is quite nice for me, and pajada. Yeah, it could have been even better after my turn, but that's what happens. Goes for movie. And we have the theory. Raise mine, just getting ready for some impacts. And copy is phalanx. So it's strongest for now, and I have drawn a nice impact of progress against Oprah. It's huge, and I'm willing to see it. And let's see if, yeah, there's strength before I can finish the Manhattan project, but it's still fine versus Oprah. So not the kindest event order or impact order here, but still fine. And for satellites, improv sports for the culture. Play reserves, upgrade both my labs, pop twice to get out of revolt, and just finish the wonder for 21 points, which is quite fine. And as said, I couldn't fix my happies, so it's fine to just end like this. So the last turn was set in stone. I could develop those two technologies with jobs bonus, let us reserves, upgrade those two labs, and then just finish the wonder. And before final impacts, I already have the lead, and I have some very favorable impacts in, so I was quite sure I can hold this position. There's progress, which is huge for me against Oprah, and fine versus pajada. There's wonders also from me. Well, it's with seeding, it's neutral versus Oprah. Variety, I did not know about. It's not that great for anyone. Harmony propagated by pajada. Supposedly not great for me, but still enough probably since the last. Yeah, I didn't know about this either, but yeah. Pajada had played the agriculture as well. So even a clear victory here. So this was at the end pretty well. It wasn't smooth at the start, but when I got the turn where I upgraded all my coals and the last started breeding, it felt that this is still looking very fine since the culture was I had gathered some early culture, and then I could go for the aggression, disbanding or sacrificing one rifle, and then start building the cannons instead. So I'm not sure if Oprah at that point saw that I may be wishing to sacrifice a unit, since that was the difference between defending with 2 or 3 cards. But for me, it was just win-win. I get some culture for sacrificing. It makes the transition easier into the mobile artillery. so I was willing to do the sacrifice. And also earlier, me picking Maria for 3 was, I think, one of the main decisions in this game that helped me sort of come back from the bit of a strength deficit at one point to even be strongest at the end. And while Jobs, I mean, he was the only leader at that point available for me, but he was still quite nice. With coal economy, his bonus is very useful, and I was able to score and draw some nice impacts, even though I ended up seeding science and being second, and then I seeded strength and was second just due to a bit of, well, I'm not saying unluck, but unfavorable order of impacts. But it was still, those were still nice versus Oprah, and he ended up being the main contender. He went for those Oprahs, but had one rated and the other one lost to tourism. So in some cases he could have maybe run away with the culture, but I was able to put a stop on that. So nice result, and pajada being last, it's relatively nicer since he won the first game and I was second. So like this, I kind of overtake him for now. So thanks for watching, and bye bye.